Well, let's talk a little bit about because you brought it up, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. I think that's how you framed it. I've heard it framed like many different ways, and that's how I think of it. Fixed versus growth. I mean, thinking back, do you ever find a time when you were working out of that fixed mindset?
Yeah.
I mean, I
I
have. That's why I ask.
yeah, I am often a person who has seen the world just black and white.
Yeah.
There's only good or bad. There's nothing kind of in between. And a lot of times, especially I would say especially honestly over like the past 10 years. The past 10 years for me have been like significant growth for me personally as well as professionally. And a lot of times, especially early on, and still every, once in a while it pops up
Mm.
where I'll just be like, it especially indicates for me where I look at somebody winning and I say, if they're winning, I'm losing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's that fixed mindset, where there's only a certain amount of resource out there.
Mm.
There's only, our business does websites and web apps. There's only a certain amount of people out there who are looking for websites. There's only like
Right.
10 left.
Right.
Well, not really. And so, I mean, a lot of how we've kind of sought to, or I shouldn't even say we as a business, a lot of the way I've sought to kind of address that is to remind myself, listen, if they win, that's good. If we win, that's good. There's plenty of business to go around. And if we can come alongside them and help them win, then we win as well.
Hmm.
And so, it not in like a Shark and Remora kind of way where we're just kind of like
Yeah. I'm not a
sucking the success off
yeah.
of somebody, but like
Right.
ultimately coming alongside of them and saying, no, we want to partner with you for your success.
Hmm. So your business, Triple Nerd Score, which I love the name of that. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say this, and this is not not what's the term? Blowing sunshine up your skirt or whatever.
Okay.
We have that saying in the South. I don't know if you um
I'm going to
this is
make it
not
a thing in the North now. I love it.
it's not a hollow compliment. It was one of the things that I really dug about you from the first conversation was that I felt that you were a very growth mindset thinking in the way you position your business. And I'll be honest with you, I read it on your website that that's kind of how you look at it. Like, we'll come alongside you and support you, and we'll win together. And I was like, you know, I see a lot of that and it's bullshit. Like I was like, is it but I really I mean, I get that vibe from you talking to you, in the trenches on projects and things like that. Is your business, I mean, did you sort of build this business around that, or did it become that because you became that?
Yeah, much more the second idea. It
Okay,
became that because I became that.
that's cool.
For a long time, I really sat in that if you win, I lose mindset.
Okay.
And what I found, uh, at least for me personally, is I ended up becoming very cynical and very almost hateful at times of
Huh.
people who are winning around me. And I had a moment in 2017. So I don't know if you know too. Like boy, I like this multi potentialite kind of thing. I apologize if I'm mentioning like 9 career paths I'm on, but
No,
I
I wanted to I mean, I wanted to just be like, "Take me through the history of everything you've done," but,
yeah,
it's a
there's too
little
many.
linear. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also serve as a pastor. And
Yeah.
in 2011, we ended up planting a church in Philadelphia. Around that time, uh, we had uh, we had not received kind of the support we expected um, from those above us,
Okay.
and so they actually sent in other planters into our area and that kind of
Mm,
thing, which was a real challenge for me personally, as
hmm,
well as building this organization.
right.
So a lot of that finally came to a head. We had to shut down our church plant for a number of reasons, but ultimately it was in the that moment that I realized just how cynical and awful I had become to be around. Where I was almost like, if this version of Doug had won, then the world around him would have cracked because it wouldn't have been a world
Right.
anyone would have wanted to live in.
Yeah, what would that have congregation become? Like,
Yeah, like,
you know right.
you replicate who you are in
Absolutely.
those roles, and so, all I the last thing I would have wanted is a whole bunch of people who, walked around, all pompous and hoity-toity and that kind of thing, and so it was a grand beating of my
Mm,
ego, and it was exactly what I needed because it was during the next 2 years where we ended up, helping, a person that we would have seen as one of our quote unquote competitors in that role. We came alongside of them and we just said, listen, we just need to hide out for a little bit. We just want to serve. I ended up picking up trash in the parking lot for a year. And I mean, to go from leading a large 500-person organization to picking up uh,
right.
used products that people dump behind dumpsters, um, it was it was that moment that I'm just like, this mindset is not working for me.
That's the lesson you needed at the time you needed it, though. That's what's
Yeah,
beautiful about it.
yeah, it
It's
came at
funny
just
how
the
that
right
works.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Again,
great.
not fun, not enjoyable.
No, it
Nothing
never
but
is.
constant pain. But I'm like, if I didn't have the pain, if I didn't embrace the fact that this thing I loved and
Right.
created died partially at my own hand and my own doing,
Yeah.
then we wouldn't have what we have today.